Welcome to exam.com for this Forex Preview video. I'm Cristina Marujos, and joining me today is Cristina Bartenido, investment analyst, and we'll be having a look at the Bank of England coming up this week. It will be a quite busy week, Cristina, one would say. We have several central banks holding their meetings ahead of the holiday season, but the Bank of England will attract special attention on Thursday, given the rumors that the bank could raise its interest rate this week. What do you think? Could the board be in favor of a rate hike?
Hi, Christina. Indeed, the Bank of England has been getting quite a lot of questions about whether it will raise its interest rate this week after saying last month that monetary tightening will be necessary over the foreseeable future. But the pandemic risks have unexpectedly strengthened again since the previous policy meeting because of the Omicron variant. And last week, Boris Johnson announced new measures to contain the new variant, whose effects are still uncertain. While some health experts claim that the Omicron variant might be milder than Delta, but on the other hand, they also cautioned that a third dose of vaccine will be needed to neutralize that virus. So it seems that currently there is no clear conclusion about how the Omicron variant could develop in the coming months and whether more strict measures will be needed to stop it. And that is something that may discourage the central bank from raising interest rates before Christmas this week. Well, the probability for a rate hike was around 35% last week, and it further declined to around 25% after monthly GDP growth figures came in lower than expected last week, suggesting that the fourth quarter didn't start on the foot that investors would like to. Perhaps Boris Johnson's new restrictions might not cause a significant growth slowdown because businesses are still allowed to operate normally, but apparently consumers will be more careful with their outdoor activities, and without the government's furlough schemes, there's one more reason to believe that growth could be less impressive in the fourth quarter. Now, to make things clear, the bank may leave its policy settings unchanged this month, but that doesn't mean that the rate hike will entirely move out of its plans. The labor market is still robust, and we'll get fresh updates on that on Tuesday. More importantly, inflation is expected to further rise to 4.7% year on year this week as well. That will be the highest in more than a decade. Moreover, flash market PMIs for December could show a slowdown from last month, but they will probably remain comfortably above the 50 expansion area. So overall, hawkish policymakers could still have a reason to promote a rate hike, if not this month, probably at the start of the new year, if of course the new variant proves less dangerous. So overall, I think that the central bank will keep its policy steady, but probably it will keep signaling that monetary tightening is still within its plans for next year.
Now, the pound has been indecisive over the past week, but it is still near its 2021 lows against the dollar. Could the Bank of England bring another extension to the bearish trend?
Well, if the central bank leaves its policy unchanged, that might disappoint some investors, but I don't think that it will cause any sharp declines in pound dollar unless the bank surprisingly becomes less confident about the economy, signaling that monetary stimulus will be needed for some time long. And of course, if that comes after a more hawkish Fed policy announcement on Wednesday, then that could bring downside pressures to pound dollar. On the other hand, if the bank keeps policy steady but signals that at least one rate hike could be possible next year, as inflation is now looking something more than temporary and it requires more attention, then that could even help the pound gain some ground against the dollar. And currently the 1.33 level looks to be a key target for the pound. Also, signals have been flashing oversold for some time in pound dollar, so technically I wouldn't rule out any upside corrections in the market this week.
Cristina, thank you for joining me today. This was a Forex preview on the Bank of England policy meeting coming up on Thursday. Thanks for watching at exam.com.